Epic narratives. It's time to finish up the epic narrative. Take a minute. Feel good about the work you've done. Okay, now go to Google Classroom and I want you to open up two documents. I want you to open up both the template and the epic narrative document that we've been using since the beginning. So you'll notice that I have them open up here. Here is the epic narrative document that we've been using since the beginning, and I have my template. All right, I've done all of the formatting, and now we are down to week 5, editing, checklist, rubric. So as I scroll down, the first thing I find is the checklist. The second thing I find is the rubric. You have seen this since the very beginning. So now we're going to check it out. And this is detail work. You have to go through each one. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the end. Week 5, day 1. I think I just passed it. There it is, week 5, day 1. And I'm going to start going through the checklist. Now this is kind of funny. It starts with 15. Yeah, for some reason it kept numbering from up above. I don't know why. I could probably fix it, but I didn't. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go through each one. Sentences. Do you have a capital letter to start and a period to end each sentence? So you're going to look at that, and you're going to come back over here to your template where you now have your finished epic narrative. And you're going to read through, and you're going to make sure that you have a capital letter to start every sentence and a period to end every sentence, or a question mark or an exclamation point. Okay? If you do have that for your sentences, you're going to actually put in a check mark. So I just like to copy that one, and I'm going to put in the check mark. Okay? Now, if you don't remember what a sentence is or you want some help on that, besides going to read all of the stories that we've read, you could click here, One Complete Idea, and there's a slideshow about fragments and run-on sentences to help you make sure that you are not using fragments and run-on sentences. So the next one says indented paragraphs. Again, I'm going to go back over here. Are my paragraphs indented? And they are. I can see that they're indented as I go down. My paragraphs are indented. Now, maybe you don't remember when you should start a new paragraph. Well, there's another slideshow here, and it's titled Tip Top, this link. And because if you go there, you're going to find out what it says about starting new paragraphs. When should I transition to a new paragraph? Whenever there's a new time, place, topic, or person. Check that out. It'll give you some ideas. All right. If you have indented all of your paragraphs, you can click there and put a check mark. Do you have a lead, a beginning? Your hook. Do you have that? Okay. To find out, again, go back and read it. Do you have one? Yes, I have one. It is a dialogue, action, conflict lead. Dialogue, conflict, and action. So can I name it? Yeah, I can. Which beginning did I use? I used dialogue, action, conflict. So I'm going to go ahead and click in here, and I'm going to paste in that check mark. Is there a problem? Yes, there is a problem, and I can name it. Again, I'm going to go through all of these things. All right. This one, the format one, we did that in the previous video. So if you followed all of the directions from the previous video, this one is already done. But be sure to go through each line and make sure you did that. With the mechanics one, you better not have any misspelled words. You're working on a computer. Do spell check. Use Grammarly. Make sure that nothing is misspelled. Now, you might use the wrong word, but make sure it's spelled correctly. Okay, so you're going to go through all of those and you're going to put in a check. If you have questions, please ask us. Then you're going to come down here and you're going to take a look at the rubric. Again, you have seen this rubric every day since the very beginning. You're going to go through this. Does your narrative have a clear plot and setting? Is there a beginning, middle, end, problem, and solution that we know through description and dialogue? Do we know about your character's traits because you wrote clearly about them? Okay. Do you express yourself well, and we know that it's yours? Does the dialogue, description, and details, do they make your meaning clear and interesting? Did you use interesting words? Okay. Did you have few errors in punctuation, grammar, and spelling that do not inhibit the understanding? So maybe you forgot to put in some periods and capital letters, but we can still understand it. If we don't understand it, that means it does inhibit understanding. Okay. Now, if you want a 6 or a 7, you're going to have to look at that. You're going to have to take a look and see, did you do that? Now, once you look at this, I want you to grade yourself. So if you think that this is you, number 5, right? So you got a 5 for the organization section. If you think that's you, I want you to go find the paint bucket and I want you to color it a light blue. There it is. Okay? If you think you got a 6 or a 7 up here, I want you to find the paint bucket again, and I want you to do it a light blue. And maybe you think that there are more than a few errors in grammar and punctuation. But hey, if you think that, go fix them so that you don't do that. Okay, so I just fixed them. I'm going to come back up here. All right. So now, I have a check mark on each one of these things, each one of these lines, from 15 down through 28, and I have colored blue these boxes. Am I done? Well, I reviewed the rubric and know what grade I will earn. I read each line of the checklist and have done everything it says to the best of my ability. I'll do another video about making it into a PDF. Good luck. Epic narratives.